The theme for this week is love. So the question is, why and how do we do that? So I've looked at a couple of things that I've found, and the first is in the Gospel of Mark. I'm going to read a bit for us. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating, noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer. He asked him, "Of all the commandments, which is the most important?" "The most important one," Jesus answered, "is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these." So I think that pretty well sums it up. Love God first. Love your neighbor as yourself. We can look at a lot of other studies of who is our neighbor and how do we do that. Paul had a couple of good thoughts for us. So Paul wrote a letter to the church in Corinth, and I'd like to read a little bit of that. This is 1 Corinthians 13. "If I speak in tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in the evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. Now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love." Shanna, I believe you'll remember, this was in our wedding vows 15 years ago. I've not forgotten that. I want to show the love that I have for everyone who's my neighbor, everyone who's my enemy. Paul wrote another letter to the church in Galatia. A small piece of that, he notes, "For in Christ Jesus, neither circumcision nor non-circumcision has any value. The only thing that counts is faith, expressing itself through love." So when we love one another, we do that with respect. We do that. Sometimes we need to walk with them through their hard times. We need to admit our own faults. Paul goes on in the letter to Galatia, "Brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. But watch yourselves, or you may also be tempted. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. If anyone thinks they are something when they are not, they deceive themselves. Each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else."